Welcome back everyone to our Greek cruise on the MSC MUSICA. Today's video is our third in the series, but today is actually our fourth port of call for our cruise. This is a 7-night Eastern Mediterranean cruise that kicked off in Haifa for us. But this cruise is also an interport cruise, which means that some people today in Athens will be ending their cruise and some people will be just getting started. So far, this cruise has been interesting to say the least, and it's been a first in many ways.
Where is it?
What? Who?
She's missing a suitcase.
Whose?
No,
Mine, the
no,
little
get
one. Wait,
And if you haven't seen the first two videos that we just released, we would suggest you check them out before choosing MSC as your cruise line for the Mediterranean. What's great for today's video is that no matter how you get here, you can have a great time in Athens, and we're going to show you how. And as always, if you have questions about travel, cruising, make sure to leave them in the comments below, and we will answer those for you.
So Taylor and I are kicking off our day here in Athens by navigating the roadways, and we're going to make our way over to the metro.
we're technically not even in Athens yet.
Yeah, I guess so.
We're in Piraeus?
That's what I assumed. So essentially what we're doing is we're just gonna
Go to the train.
we're gonna go to the metro station, and we're literally just gonna follow this around the harbor. If you don't know, Athens is actually about 10 kilometers from the port. So to get into Athens itself, you're gonna have to take a taxi, a bus, a tour excursion, or the metro. So we're gonna go down and take the metro. The buses, there are a lot, but it seems like they get pretty congested trying to get up in. And most of what I've been seeing is it's gonna take about 45 minutes to an hour, just to take the bus about 10 kilometers.
Oh yeah, with all the stops and everything.
Yeah, so it seems like maybe taking the metro might be the better option. You know, to be honest with you, getting off the ship wasn't bad. And
it was much better today.
Yeah, walking so far to the metro is fairly simple.
We almost there yet?
No, this GPS thing was off. It says 11 minutes.
So I have to say, it's funny that you're like, oh, if you take a bus, it could take 45 minutes to an hour.
I knew you were going to say that. Thoughts on our adventurous walk?
Oh, the thoughts are that we would have been almost to Athens by now if we would have just taken that bus that Josh said was going to take 45 minutes to an hour to get there. Because we've been walking for 45 minutes to the metro station.
Here we go.
Please select function.
So we are going to be taking the metro from Piraeus all the way over to Thesio. This is where the Parthenon is at, and all of kind of the draws of Athens. And this is pretty simple. The metro is really nice and easy to navigate. But the other thing too is that if you do still have questions, most of these people here speak English, so don't be afraid to ask if you need to make a change of trains or get off at some other stop. They'll be able to help you answer any questions that you have.
See, this works.
So the tickets here were €2 each to get to Thesios. Relatively cheap, in my opinion. I would definitely do this again and again. And this is really just like Haifa. If you watched our embarkation day video, when we got on the train in Haifa, they said what the stops were in Hebrew and in English, and here they did kind of the same thing where they would say what the next stop was in Greek, and then they would also say what it was in English.
Well, we made it on the metro, which wasn't bad.
We did make it, and let me say, if we would have maybe taken a taxi from the port to the metro and then took the metro here, the metro was only about a 12-minute ride.
Yeah.
So it was quick to get here once we made it to the train after our 45-minute walk. But I did tell Josh I had some time to reflect on the train, and I realized I'd rather be walking 45 minutes to the metro station in another country than be at work right now.
Yeah, I think we're just going to keep kind of following this up and around.
Okay.
We could probably sit out here.
I was actually just thinking that. Or even in there. Yeah.
I think I was reading that they're up here.
Wow.
Yeah, look at that up there.
Wow. You don't actually get to go up there, do you?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I think the
Oh, I see there's a car that goes up the side.
So it looks like somewhere up here we'll be able to make a left, and we're going to have to climb some stairs.
Great.
Look at that guy, he's got a 360 camera up there.
to Acropolis?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll get you there.
Yeah?
It's just rocky.
Okay. We just keep like, we follow this path down or?
I would go straight. See all these trees right here?
Yeah.
It's like directly behind all that. So
Okay.
It's a bit rocky, but it's direct.
Okay. Cool. Thank you very much.
No worries. I know it's not easy to get.
Yeah.
Google Maps, everything's all screwed up.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Thank you so much.
No worries. Just follow the trail, keep going up.
Okay, cool. Thank you. We're going on a quest.
We sure are.
Are we doing like the 1,000 steps all over again?
Jesus Christ. This ain't the way that you're supposed to go, I'm telling you. Anybody watching this, please tell us this isn't the way that you went.
But those are carved steps right there.
Yeah, a couple.
We're taking the scenic route.
Now, Taylor wasn't wrong. There are multiple ways to get to Acropolis, and we were definitely on the scenic route. There are roads that will take you right to the base of Acropolis where you can purchase tickets to go up. So don't think that you have to do what we're doing today, but I think it makes a journey more fun. Now, if you are wondering about sailing through the Mediterranean, you've never done it before, looking to do that next big cruise, don't worry, we can definitely help you with that. We've got experience, whether it's Taylor and myself or the rest of our team over at Getaways can help you plan your next destination vacation, your Mediterranean cruise to the Greek Isles, or like we're taking another cruise in the Mediterranean later in August with some friends of ours as a group cruise. It's gonna be awesome on Norwegian Cruise Line's Epic Ship. So if you're looking to plan, you need some help, reach out to us. We would love to help you plan that next big trip. And guess what? It doesn't cost you anything extra.
This is like we're taking the, this is like we're walking in the ancient footsteps of the old Greeks.
And imagine, they probably climbed this in sandals.
Yeah, probably. So today I actually brought like very little gear because apparently when you get into Acropolis and like where the Parthenon is, they don't allow you to take any big bags in there. So I'm hoping that my little shoulder crossbody bag will be sufficient. But Taylor has a little tripod, so that's why we're gonna take a photo on her phone instead of doing it on the camera. Hopefully if it doesn't fall over.
I just gotta find a balancing spot here.
Very. Slippery dip.
Oh. What about those stairs right there?
Yeah, about those stairs right
How
there.
about them stairs right there?
You can actually walk back down around that way, or you can just keep funneling down if you want.
I will probably walk around because don't you remember the last time I tried walking down rocks? I hurt myself. I mean, I could probably get down right here. I'm just a little, it's not wet. Your GoPro's been rolling, right?
Yeah.
Till he's getting all this. Can you just help me with this step? I don't want to slide.
We made our way down the steps here to where the ticketing area is at. Now here at Acropolis, there are a couple of different options for you. You can purchase tickets at the gate, basically. It does tend to be a pretty long line to get your tickets, or you can purchase them online, and when you purchase them online, you tend to get like some extra stuff with it. So we purchased our stuff online, and we thought that we would be skipping kind of the wait for the tickets, and we ended up having a much longer wait, which was really kind of shocking. And this was the line to just get to the bag check before you actually even start up the slopes to Acropolis itself. It was really, really long. Unbelievably long. We were actually really shocked, and we did get a little bit of anxiety right here. But you know, the thing is that it actually began to move fairly quickly.
So I guess it doesn't really matter if you do a tour or not, because all the people for tours are in this
Even
line
on
too.
the website for the tour said that you have to wait in this line. I mean, the only difference is like what, bust you up closer, I guess.
Well, that sure was quite the interesting trip to get up here, but Josh said he had read online a lot of places that you do have to wait quite a bit to actually get up here. We did. It really didn't feel like it was that long because it was constantly moving, but there are a ton of people, and when I say a ton, I literally mean that, of people trying to come up in here. But once you're up in here, it is a little bit more spread out, so you can kind of like walk around and see things from the top. But it will get crowded again as we go back down, I can already tell. But this is really cool to actually be here, and the views are insane.
Good. This is incredible. It's an awesome place, and it's just amazing how many thousands of people are up here, and they just keep coming. And if there's one thing I can suggest for everybody, it's just that you have to have patience throughout the entire day while you come up here, because I mean, everybody wants to get photos, everybody wants to do everything, and some people just have less than others. So if you can have your patience and keep it, the experience will be a lot better for you. So once you get up here, I don't know that there's like a lot to really do or experience, but there is quite a bit to see. They are restoring the Parthenon over here, which is really cool.
A really good spot right now.
And they're also working on the building over here. So it's really cool. Now, the other thing is too, is that they do have like crew members up here working. So if you do have questions, you can definitely go and ask them for help. And one other thing that you might want to do if you're here by yourself like we are, what we did not get was a tour guide. So, but you can purchase audio guides downstairs before you come up, or you can get them like online to use while you're coming up through here, so you have it forever. But it's pretty cool. So awesome. I'm glad that we got to do it. It seemed really, really overwhelming to start with at first, but I'm glad we got to do it. We got to come and experience and see the actual Parthenon here in Athens. So pretty cool.
So as we began to make our way back down the slopes, it was still pretty busy, but wasn't as busy as when we were coming up. And I even saw Marianne and her rowdy gang making their way up to go check out the Parthenon. And something that I want to point out down here at the bottom of the slopes is this.
So one thing I want to mention is that this line has gone way down since we were here earlier. So you may want to try and hit this place up maybe later in the afternoon, and it won't be such a big rush. So just something to keep in mind when you're here and like walking around Europe, because it is actually kind of pretty common. When you ask for water, normally they're going to give you sparkling water. They're not going to give you something that's still.
So you have to ask for still.
Yeah, make sure that you ask for still, because I made that mistake when I went to go get waters earlier. So I love a good sparkling water. So we are now going to make our way to a little locally owned cafe here in Athens. It's about maybe a 10-minute walk, according to Google, from here. So
Yeah, let's see if this is actually 10 minutes, because that's what the last walk was supposed to be.
we'll see.
This is cool. I didn't do a video up top that was like, come with us to... I'll have to use the one where you were walking towards the Parthenon and turned and looked at me.
So this is, I think, kind of what we had been wanting to do in Mykonos yesterday. Didn't get to.
Just walking down some like streets, local streets, and trying to find a local cafe to get some food, get a drink, and just hang out. And that's what we're about to do. I mean, we kind of are, we're doing part of it. We're gonna get to a cafe.
Yes, please.
You like inside, outside?
Where do you want to sit? Yeah, outside?
Outside.
Oh, wow, look at how the keeps going all the way up. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I think they went on the side.
Yeah. Just trying to move it out of the way a little
Or are
bit.
you gonna sit over here?
I was going to sit over there, yeah. Might as well. All right, so we've got seated at the Mediva little cafe here out on the street, which looks pretty nice. So this is supposed to be like a really highly rated cafe here.
They do have it in English and Greek.
Yeah, which is nice. You have your mic on over there?
Yeah, it's right here.
Okay. Filter coffee, that's interesting. Greek coffee.
Where's that at?
It's on the hot beverages. So, and it is about almost 1 o'clock. So we just ordered a little bit of food and some drinks. And Taylor likes to always point out that here in Europe, you rarely get ice with your water.
And if you ask for ice, they kind of look at you like you're crazy. It's not that they don't have ice. They do have ice. They put it in the cocktails and some of the coffee drinks and everything else, not the water.
It's just a weird thing, I guess. All right, our meatballs have arrived. They look pretty good. It's interesting that it's served with tomatoes and cucumbers. It's just like
Depends where you're at.
right. So Taylor's got a nice coffee over here.
It's actually a cappuccino on ice.
Okay, same thing. Iced coffee. And I've got a Greek coffee. I saw this yesterday when we were in Mykonos. I thought about getting one. I assume it's kind of like an espresso, but I'm not really sure. How's your coffee?
That's good. It's fresh.
I hope so.
Oh, it's too big of a bite.
Yeah, I'd say.
Very unique flavor. Not like, obviously, not like an Italian meatball. But like, I think I might taste like some mint or something in there.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's like maybe a little mintiness in there. And I think these are like almost fried and not like baked or anything. They have a nice crunch on the outside. And they're pretty good. So we decided to get some baklava, and I've never seen it like that big before.
It's a
like
huge piece.
It's so thick. It's huge. It looks like they serve it with like a little bit of whipped cream. I'm not gonna eat that, but it looks really good.
Might need that knife. There you go.
Wow, that's really good. I don't think I've ever had it where it felt so light with the flakiness and the layers. And I love like the honey.
There's a lot of honey on there.
It's not even really like a honey. It's like a syrup, I think, that they have taken the honey and like made it a little bit more like liquid. So it's not so thick. It's a little more runny. But it is really, really good. I'm glad that we got this. We almost didn't, and I was like, So it's good.
Once we finished eating, we decided to take advantage of the ticket that we bought to go see the Parthenon. So the Acropolis and archaeological sites of the historical center of Athens is what this ticket is called. And it is something that includes a lot of different things: the ancient agora, Roman agora, Hadrian's library, Olympian, and a few other kind of like just historical sites, which is cool. And the other great thing too is that everything is really within walking distance of each other. So it's kind of a no-brainer. When you get the ticket, it's worth it to go around and try to do some of this other stuff. This ticket costs Taylor and I 30 euros a piece. So I think relatively inexpensive to be able to just get out here and tour the city on your own. And the only thing that I would add again is to find some type of digital audio guide that you could use throughout the day to give you a little bit more back history, a little bit more information, rather than trying to read all the little placards in the different places.
Hello.
So we have made it to the Roman Agora. We don't really know what this is because we haven't had a chance to look it up yet. But it's just really cool being somewhere that is so historic.
Some place is so old, you know?
It's
it's
so
just
old.
crazy.
And, like all the small little tiny streets and like the older buildings, and like you literally can just walk down the street here. And then if a car comes, you just get out of the way and then keep walking down the street. Like, it's just crazy. The commercial activities of ancient Athens when the ancient Agora's central part. What is that?
So I guess we just found out that it's like activities.
Yeah, it was like a commercial activities
Maybe
area.
like a shopping area or something?
Well, it said that it was like surrounded by shopping. So there was shopping around, I guess.
Somebody will correct us.
But oh yeah, they definitely will. In the comments, just check it there. So were you like raised that like to like poop privately?
Oh.
Because I feel like the reason it doesn't bother me is because in my house, we all just went to the bathroom with the door open all the time. And so I think that's why it doesn't faze me at all.
Oh.
Which way?
The library. I thought it was I was like looking at a library.
Yeah, honey, you gotta think about where we are.
So something that I didn't really talk about today, which I should probably mention, is that we got a ticket that includes a bunch of different locations here in Athens, which is kind of cool. Otherwise, we could have just bought a ticket that went up to Acropolis and got to see the Parthenon, and that was about it. So we were kind of looking around. We just did the Roman Agora, yes. And now we were looking for what is called, I think it's Hadrian's Library. It looks like it's just around the corner here. And so on maps, it looks like it's in a building. And so I was like, there's another lady, she's trying to find it too. And I was like, it looks like it's supposed to be in like this yellow building right here. And she's like, I've seen pictures, it's very beautiful. And I'm like, okay, well, this is it. Not a real, modern day library, I suppose you could say. So it is cool. I mean, I know we've said this already, but it's really kind of neat and interesting to be able to kind of walk through stuff that's just thousands of years old. So the Agora, I think, was like 10 or 11 BC. I would assume like a lot of this is around that same period. So it's really interesting. They also have taken like basically pieces of the library itself, and they set them all off to the side for restoration purposes, I'm assuming. But it's crazy. There is a really big project to try and restore a lot of Athens itself with all of these really old culturally historical places. So, and you can see that it's very evident in the way that they start putting some stuff back together. But I mean, it's cool. It's you're going to do a lot of walking today while you're here, but nonetheless, I think it's cool to experience some really old stuff, especially if you're from the States like we are. It's really amazing too, because no matter where you go, you can almost always see Acropolis somewhere in the horizon line.
Oh, and I think that's the point of why they built it up there, because you could see pretty much all of Athens from the top. Yeah. Which, I mean, when we were up there, we could literally see everything. So it's just crazy. And we were up there.
So we have lots of time to get back to the ship, and we're kind of just we stumbled into what seems to be this very busy kind of flea market-ish downtown area. So yeah. I just kind of thought maybe we'd walk through here because it's kind of neat and interesting. A little bit different.
There's a Hard Rock, Josh. Hard Rock Athens.
Oh, wow.
Lots of eyes. Cannabis store. Amsterdam, Athens. Sure. I mean, if we're taking a taxi, we can get picked up wherever.
Wow. Incredible.
It's crazy. Is this a little cafe right here? I think so. Oh my gosh. It's like a tiki bar.
Well, obviously we're not still out in Athens, but we have officially made it back onto the ship, and it has been a little bit of a cluster to get back onto the ship, but thankfully we're here, we're on, and we had an awesome day. But what's really cool, we weren't sure if we'd be able to actually see it, but if you kind of look over this way, over my shoulder, you actually be able to see the Parthenon and the mountaintop and Acropolis and all that stuff over there, which was just awesome and totally super cool to see. But yeah, it's super cool. So it's really tough to I think sometimes take in the fact that we're not in the US anymore. We're out in halfway around the world, so to speak. And yeah, so, but awesome. So tonight we've got dinner again. We're gonna go to dinner. I don't know what we're gonna do afterwards. We're probably gonna go get a drink because, what else is there to do? There's not a lot of activities to do on this ship. Maybe we'll see the show, maybe not, I don't know. But I am starving. Those meatballs at lunch today were fantastic. Baklava, absolutely amazing. Oh my gosh. But yeah, that's all we ate. So let's go get some dinner.